on the micro front, where are you looking for opportunity? You know, we've talked about your big three: robotics, space, climate tech before. Is that still your big three going into 2023 with that macro perspective still kind of in the back burner right now?
Yes, I love climate tech, space, and robotics. And actually, climate tech, I've become, if I was 10 out of 10 bullish, now I'm 15 out of 10 because of OPEC plus. The simple reality is that OPEC plus, 2 million barrel cut, all that really does, and then oil prices go up. It's like, okay, if I'm a consumer and I'm sitting here and I'm like, we're in a massive oil shortage. The U.S. government and Federal Reserve have done their part to lower gas prices. I mean, gas prices nationally collapsed from $5 to $3. I mean, it was a great time, right, over the summer. And then now they're coming back up. And why are they coming back up? Because OPEC Plus decided to play, you know, a little political tiffy-taff with the U.S. government and do some what? Like OPEC Plus cuts production and then my gas prices go up. Again, one of the reasons we got super bullish on climate tech at the beginning of the year is because one of my arguments was consumers, businesses, and governments are going to be absolutely pissed that Russia invades Ukraine, nothing to do with me, yet my energy bill goes up. Like, that doesn't make sense. And then now we're having the same thing. OPEC Plus cuts production. My energy bill goes up. And I had nothing to do with that. The U.S. government had nothing to do with that. European governments had nothing to do with that. Yet they are suffering from the consequences of what is an absolutely stupid, boneheaded decision by OPEC Plus. And I think all that's going to do is get governments, businesses, and consumers throughout North America and throughout Europe to more hastily adopt alternative energy sources, more solar panels, more hydrogen facilities, restart the nuclear, you know, get electric vehicles on the road. I think that is exactly what's going to happen. Anecdotes are not data, but I cannot tell you over the past week, ever since this OPEC Plus announcement here in California, we're paying absurd gas prices. The amount of people I've talked to, whether it's, you know, going out and playing basketball on Tuesday nights or going out to a bar or talking to people at dinner, all these people I talk to, everybody is talking about going electric. They're fed up with gas prices. They're fed up of being subject to the whims of volatile energy prices that their own government doesn't even control anymore. So I think that there's going to be a massive shift towards clean energy solutions throughout North America and throughout Europe. And I think that is going to create enormous investment opportunities for us in solar stocks, in hydrogen stocks, and especially in battery energy storage stocks. I think that's going to be the epicenter of this entire movement, battery energy storage systems. That's going to be what everything hinges on. So we need more deployments of that. I think there's going to be massive opportunities there and massive opportunities in electric vehicle stocks. So yeah, I really like the climate tech space. And then you talk about automation, robotics. Tesla, when last week we missed it, we didn't get to talk about it.
Yeah,
Tesla,
the robot reveal by Tesla.
The raise the roof robot. So I mean, the robot itself today is not super impressive, but it does show you that here's probably the most forward-thinking, the most innovative company in the world, and they're basically telling you they're all in on robots. And they're not the only one, right? Another hyper innovative company, Amazon, has also more discreetly gone all in on robots. They've automated all their warehouses. They acquired a warehouse automation firm, and they acquired iRobot, the robotic vacuum cleaner, and they rolled out, what is that little robot called? Astro.
The two-wheel thing that like...
the two-wheel thing that was supposed to just kind of go around.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, his name's Astro, and he's going to go around homes, and they even revealed... Because Amazon owns Ring, and so they debuted a whole new series of products for Ring, and now they're including Astro as a feature set of Ring. So Astro is now going to monitor your home and secure your home. So Amazon's also going all in here. So we have two signals from two of the most innovative technology firms on this planet, probably the two most innovative technology firms on this planet, going all in on robotics. Pay attention. Pay attention to those moves. That's significant. So yes, I think robotics is going to be a huge investment theme in the 2020s, and I think the real boom is going to starting right now, I believe, and it's going to accelerate in 2023. And as you know, we personally are very excited about low level automation. So automation in restaurants, automation in retail, automation in warehouses, automation in factories, automation at construction sites, because that's where there are labor shortages. We've talked about this before. There's a massive bifurcation in the labor market these days. There is a surplus of white collar workers who want to make, six figures sitting at a computer and coding or planning projects or modeling stocks. And then there aren't that many people who want to go out and serve tables and bus tables and make food and make homes and package products. That's where there's a massive labor shortage. Every restaurant I go to right now is hiring. Yet Facebook's firing, Instagram's firing, Shopify's firing, Square's firing, Roku's firing, so huge bifurcation in the labor market right now. We don't need automation over in white collar America. We need automation in blue collar America. And so we're really bullish on that low level automation solutions. And that's where our portfolios are angled right now. And we're really excited about some of the investments in that space. And then space, the third theme, space. We're really excited about that as well. I mean, there's a lot of cool developments happening there, and there's been a lot of successful launches recently. A lot of the companies that we follow very closely are just hitting landmark after milestone after milestone. And their businesses appear to be very strong. Demand appears to be very strong. And I think across all of these sectors, one thing that we would like to really emphasize is supply chains are improving. So the inflation problems that were holding back a lot of these industries from exploding are being fixed. Let's talk about electric vehicles. Electric vehicle costs had been plummeting for a decade from 2010 to 2021. And that plunge in cost is what was a big driver of electric vehicle adoption, right? We went from super expensive EVs to semi-affordable EVs, so people started buying them. That was a huge reason behind the EV boom. And that sort of slowed here in 2022 because of supply chain issues, right? Lithium prices went up. There were a bunch of production bottlenecks. China was locked down. All of these things were happening, so it was really tough. But those things are now being smoothed over. Freight rates have collapsed. Metal prices have come down. And production bottlenecks are no longer a thing in terms of COVID-19 lockdown. So those issues are being resolved. While at the same time, gas prices are going up and staying high. So the delta now is growing. And I think that's the cost delta. And I think that's going to be a huge driver for electric vehicle adoption in 2023 because EV costs are going to resume their secular decline in 2022 as supply chains normalize and inflation comes down. Yet gas cars are going to get more expensive, are going to stay really expensive because OPEC Plus doesn't want oil prices to go down. So if OPEC Plus continues to cut production and put a floor on oil at $85, $90 a barrel, then your gas is going to be $4 or $5 a gallon for the foreseeable future. The more that stays at $4 or $5 a gallon, and in 2023, a new round of EVs come out and they're $25,000. In 2024, they're $20,000. In 2025, they're $15,000. And you're still paying $4 or $5 a gallon of gas? You're going to the reason to switch becomes more and more compelling the bigger that cost delta gets. So very excited about the easing of supply chain issues, creating more growth opportunities, not just for climate tech, but we were talking about space, for space as well, and for a lot of these industries that rely on critical components to get their rocket ships into space, to get their electric vehicles on the road, to get their robots in factories. So as those issues get resolved, these companies should have more production volume, which should lead to more growth, more demand, and higher stock prices.
Thanks for watching HGI Clips. For the full episode, head on over to our sister channel at Hypergrowth Investing by clicking the link in the description or listen to the podcast on any of your favorite streaming platforms. We make new episodes every Wednesday, so make sure to check it out and subscribe to never miss any of Luke's Hypergrowth insights.